Hey guys, I am sharing with you my go-to blush and blush palettes for the summer and even for a couple years. I have a really good balance of affordable and expensive brands in this video. I'm trying to keep a really good balance on my channel of the high-end versus affordable because there's so many different needs out there. I upload new beauty videos throughout the week, so definitely be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already, just so that you can know when I upload throughout the week. The Elmar Cosmetics Colorette Blush Trio, I have this in the shade The Fair Light. This blush palette is nothing new to my channel, but it is by far my most used palette. This shade in Castaway is a beautiful orange peach shade that pairs so well with a nude lip and just adds a little bit of life to your cheekbones. Scorcher is this shade right here. It's like that bright orange pink, but I am currently obsessed with this. I love this color. I wear this so much. Like, this is my go-to color. Out of all three of these, Scorcher is my most used. It's like that bright peach color. It looks really pretty with these two combined too, but on its own, it's beautiful as well. I think this is like a blush palette that would work for everyone. They have different shades. They have the light skin tones, the medium skin tones, and the dark skin tones. So there's a color out there for you. The finish that you can get with these blushes almost reminds me of like a gel formula, but this is by no means a gel formula. It's definitely a powder blush, but it's so crazy how it like melts into your skin and makes your skin look wet, like that Amrezy highlighter. That Amrezy highlighter makes you, I'm actually wearing the highlighter today, it makes your skin look wet and juicy and plump, and that's what these blushes do for me. This nude pink right here is perfect for any makeup look. You could pair this with literally any look and you would be able to take this palette anywhere. I travel with this palette all the time. It is literally my favorite go-to blush palette. Okay, so I have never tried anything from Juvia's Place, but I have fallen in love with this palette. These are not your everyday type of blushes that you would normally go for, but this formula and the blush palette is just so unique that I love it. All of these shades are incredibly pigmented and they blend so well into the skin. My favorite shade in this entire palette is this brown shade right here. I cannot get enough of this shade. I use it as a bronzer and a blush. The matte shades in Yara, B, Lena, and Teo are my favorite because the matte formula is just so blendable and creamy. In today's look, I'm wearing Yara as my bronzer and contour, and then the shade Teo I'm wearing as my blush, and I love that combination. That has been my go-to combination for a while now, and I find that I find myself using this so much this summer, and I feel like this is just going to be one of my yearly favorites items because the formula is so good. The price is amazing. Juvia's Place is actually a pretty reasonably priced brand. It's not as expensive as Too Faced or Tarte. It's like right in the middle between drugstore and your high-end products. It's like right in the middle. I haven't had a chance to use this color right here in B. It's a little bit cool tone for me, so it has to be with a specific look, but it is a pretty color. You can also use it as an eyeshadow. These two shades in Zola and Sola I haven't worn as blushes. I've actually worn them as like eyeshadow colors, but they're beautiful. They're extremely pigmented and they do work really well as eyeshadows. This shade in Zola could also be used as a highlighter as well. I think it was kind of meant to be like a face palette, so you could use this as a bronzer. This is your highlight. I don't necessarily like it as a highlighter. I think it emphasizes my texture a little bit too much, so it's not the best formula for me as a highlighter, but as an eyeshadow, it's beautiful. You can get a use for every single one of these shades in this palette. I think it's so useful. It's very nice to travel with. It's nice and compact, and I'm not sure like why people aren't talking about these because it is good. Everybody seems to be raving about the Juvia's Place foundation, that full coverage crazy foundation that they have, but honestly, like, they have more products that are really great. I've never tried that foundation out. I'm not sure that I will because I'm not into that intensive coverage, but this palette definitely needs to be talked about more because I really like this formula. I feel like if you like warm colors and you want to explore a little bit into blushes and figure out like what colors work for you, definitely check this out because it is such a great item and it's priced really well. It's not as expensive as your other makeup palettes that you're going to get at Sephora and stuff. This is definitely a reasonably priced item and you get a lot of value for the price that you pay for this. Nothing has ever really caught my eye at Clinique, but their Cheek Pop collection is the best. They have 14 different shades, but my favorite is the shade Rosy Pop. This is what I think of when I think of a classic pink blush. This is literally a classic. If you want a really easy and buildable blush, I would definitely recommend this one. This is one of those blushes that lasts all day and doesn't make your face look oily or anything. I don't like those blushes that last all day, but then you have oil breaking out everywhere. This blush does not do that to you, so I really like that for that reason specifically. This formula doesn't look like powder on your skin. It looks like your natural skin color. It looks like you have a beautiful natural pink flush in your cheeks, and that's what I like, especially for my daily everyday looks. That is the type of blush that I go for. I notice a glow. It's not like your shimmery, sparkly glow. It's a natural glow. It looks like your natural skin color, and that's what I love about this blush. Also, for the fact that it doesn't make my skin look oily. This is definitely a really great beginner's blush if you are just starting out in makeup and you want to find a really great, good quality blush that is going to be really easy to work with. I would really recommend this to you. I think they've made highlights out of this formula now, so I definitely want to check those out as well. But all in due time, all in due time. Next, I have the Wet n Wild Color Icon blush in the shade Mellow Wine. This is a matte blush that I know will never fail me, no matter how awful my skin looks or feels. This particular shade in Mellow Wine has quite a bit of powder kick up. Whew. I find the powder kick up to be more of a problem more so in the drugstore brands because of the pigmented color, but I really don't mind the powder chaos. It doesn't really affect my makeup look, and I mean, as long as you don't mind the powder everywhere on your vanity, you're good. You'll like these. And it's very, very affordable too. This is like $3. So a matte blush that lasts all freaking day and stays on your cheeks. It doesn't move around like a lot of those powder blushes do. This one will not move. It's very pigmented. The powder flying everywhere can definitely be inconvenient. So if that bothers you, then I definitely wouldn't recommend this to you. But it's so cheap. And the color payoff is incredible, like especially for a drugstore item. This is beautiful, and the color is just pretty in itself, and it really, I find like the powder flying everywhere doesn't really affect my makeup look, so to me it's not a big issue. This Nars liquid blush in Tarte is like a warm coral pink. Tarte is the type of liquid blush that you don't feel on your cheeks. It's very lightweight and very easy to blend out. I would recommend that you put this on the back of your hand to like warm it up a little bit. But a little bit of this goes a long way. This little guy is going to last me a lifetime, I can tell you that. I apply this liquid blush by using a Real Techniques buffing brush. It's just a little bit of a denser brush, which makes it really nice to blend out. You could also wear this without any makeup. You could just apply a little bit to the back of your hand that way, and then dip your finger in and apply it to your cheeks and just really blend it out with your fingers. I find that liquid blushes tend to be very natural looking, but you definitely need to find the way that works the best for you to apply it. I never go straight in with the pump on this because that is just asking for trouble. Next, we have a very affordable makeup item. This is the L'Oreal Enchanted Paradise Blush in Just Curious. This is such an easy formula to work with. It's so pigmented, it's so affordable. It has that glowy formula. It's scented like peaches. There are so many pros that come with this blush. Once again, we're sticking with the peaches because I'm sorry, I love the peach shades. This is the type of blush that works for either a glam occasion or just a really pretty natural look. So it just depends on your preference on what you're wanting, but I love using this in my glam looks because I know this is going to last. I know that it's going to be one of those blushes that always complements my skin tone. The peach scent goes away, by the way, but whatever. I always have this with me when I travel. This is just a makeup item that I always take with me because I know it won't fail me. This and my Elmar Cosmetics are two blushes that I constantly travel with. This is more of a glowy formula, so it can be a little bit tricky sometimes when I have texture, but I still do it. I still wear these all the time. If I do have a problem with texture when I'm traveling, I will use my Wet n Wild Color Icon in Mellow Wine. But between these two, like, these are perfect. These are all you need, really, when you're looking for like a peach shade. The Tarte Amazonian Clay in the shade Party is just a must-have for oily skin girls. There are 12 different shades in this formula, but this is just a neutral pink that pairs with so many makeup looks. I mean, it pairs with any makeup look. So this is just like a safe choice. They're so easy to work with. They're blendable. They keep that oil away, and they don't have any shimmer in them. It's just a perfect all-around matte blush that is really great for those of you with oily skin. Even if you have dry skin, this isn't like a drying formula. I think it's pretty universal. This is another blush that's really great for beginners as well because the formula is not as pigmented as all the rest that I've mentioned. This is a pretty buildable blush. In fact, I would really like it if they came out with more shades because I don't know, I want some more crazy shades because this is just a formula that I know isn't going to fail me. It's not going to show my oil. It's going to last. I mean, this is the type of blush that I have to reapply if I want to keep the color payoff. But overall, it blurs my pores on my cheeks. It makes sure that that oil is kept away. And it's just a reliable blush that I think that a lot of girls with oily skin would really enjoy. And I really like the whole Amazonian clay line. I feel like that's really great for those of you who may have irritated and blemish prone skin and oily skin. Like, I just feel like it's a really great line for all of us girls who struggle with issues like that. This palette is for sure a little bit more pricey than I would normally pay, but it comes with so many different shades in here. It's including like bronzing and contouring and highlighting, but I love their formula in this. I love this pink shade. This is such a pretty pop of pink. It blends right into the skin. This formula is so good. Too Faced has great formulas. It reminds me a little bit of the Amazonian clay line, but it's a little bit more silky and a little bit more blendable than those blushes are. These are all very, very pigmented, so I would recommend caution when going in with these because it can get really intense really fast. If I don't need a long-lasting blush, but I want a really pretty pop of color, this is the palette that I go to. I do not travel with this. This is not travel friendly. It's kind of bulky and it's really heavy, so I wouldn't recommend traveling with this, but it is a really nice everyday type of palette. This is the palette that I put on my vanity because it just looks pretty there. That's a horrible reason, but I just like how it looks on my vanity. Did I say that this was the Too Faced Natural Palette? Yes, that's what this is. Anyway, these blushes don't last that long, I will say that, but they are so pretty. The formula is beautiful. The scent of these blushes is amazing. It's like a cocoa scent, a little bit, kind of. I think the one thing that I love the most about this palette is that these blushes give your face such a blurred, soft effect. They're not a very long-lasting blush, but you do have a good option of a matte and shimmer blush in here. So, and both of them are really pretty. All around, it is a great palette. It's just you have to be conscious of the fact that you will have to reapply it throughout the day if you want to keep that color payoff on your cheeks. Next, we have this cream stick blush by Fenty Beauty. This is in the shade Chili Mango. This is a very flattering orange warm shade. It has a lot of golden glitter throughout it, so it's very pretty for the summer when that sunlight catches the glitter on your cheeks. The Fenty Beauty matchsticks are so nice to wear on no makeup days. They blend right out onto the skin. It's like they were made to go on top of bare skin. It's very blendable. It's easy to wear on top of foundations as well. It just has to be blended out a little bit more. I would recommend going on to the back of your hand first before applying this, just to warm up the color a little bit so that you get that most out of this product and the most of that warm shade as possible. You will get golden shimmer glitters all over your cheeks, but it's very pretty out in the sunlight and it's just a very pretty complementary summer shade. This just brings a dewy deliciousness to your skin. It makes your cheeks have a whole new dimension. It pairs so well with these beautiful summer makeup looks. So I feel like this is just a summer must-have blush item. I love the ColourPop pressed powders, but in particular, this shade in Soulmate is so pretty. These blushes are tough, they're compact, they're really easy to travel with. I need to build my own blush palette because they offer those, and that is literally the best thing that the beauty industry is offering, because building your own palette of blushes is such a great idea, and I feel like that should be more of a popular thing, because can you imagine like a whole eye palette with just eyeshadows that you love? I mean, there's no loss of money there if you are legitimately gonna wear all those shades and those are customized shades that you pick for yourself. Like, I feel like that's such a great investment, and I definitely am going to be doing that with these pressed powders because I love this formula. The ColourPop formula is all around a really great beginner products. The fact that they've come out with build your own palettes and they are always having sales on them, there are always affiliate codes, there are always coupon codes, so really I don't think you could go wrong with ColourPop. ColourPop is just one of those brands that I would recommend to anybody. I would recommend them to someone just walking down the street if they ask me a question about makeup, which I don't know if that would actually ever happen, but you know, it could. it could. Once again, it's a very creamy type of formula. It's very, very pigmented, so I would recommend caution when using this. But you can always like pick out the shades that you like that would work best for you. I found that this shade in Soulmate is perfect for my skin tone right now. I think the biggest thing that I love about this blush is that this blush works with any foundation that I pair it with. Sometimes with my other blushes, I will have a problem with the foundation that I wear with it because it just, the two don't mesh together. I just end up having to work a little bit more to get the two to blend together. But with this blush, for some reason, I've been able to pair with any foundation and it works perfectly fine. So that's just one of the biggest things that I've noticed with this blush. So if you want to play it safe, I would definitely go for the ColourPop pressed powders. I know they've come out with blush sticks now, which I'm very interested in trying those out. If any of you have tried those blush sticks, please comment below because I am very interested in those. I want to see how those turn out. This last makeup item that I have to share with you is technically a bronzer and a blush in one. This is the Hikari Shimmer Bronzer Flush. I recently raved about this bronzer flush in one of my favorites videos, so I'm not going to talk or spend a lot of time on this, but it is just a really great blush topper slash bronzer. It's just like, it's hard to explain this item because it does so much. This literally is the most metallic, wet looking blush you will ever find. And it sounds intimidating, especially for someone who might have texture or oily skin, but girl, I'm all those. I haven't really been interested in Hikari brand for a long time, but I have been using this quite a bit, so I felt it appropriate to mention in this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to go in depth into all these blushes and explain the reason why I love them. All of these products are really great. I tried to keep a really affordable and expensive price range on all of these products so I could kind of address all the needs out there. But with that said, I really hope that you enjoyed this video and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.